For this Quideo, we will be analyzing graphs and data. Let's start with our basic problem. For our basic problem, we are given the salary of the CEOs of the top 59 small businesses in 1993 according to Forbes magazine. So as you can see, I listed out the salary in thousands. And then I constructed a histogram, which was our first task. So now we are going to look at the shape, center, spread, and our possible outliers. So the shape of this graph is slightly skewed to the right because the majority of the data is to the left, and you have a few little pieces of data that are on the right of the graph. The center is about 350, and we know that because we can look at the median of our data. The spread goes from about 21 to 1,103, and we notice that from the salaries that we are given in our chart. We have a possible outlier, which is 1,103, and we can't consider it an outlier until we do an IQR test. But we can consider it a possible outlier because you can see that there is a small gap from most of the data to where 1,103 is located on the graph. Now let's go to our advanced question. For our advanced question, we are given the chest measurements of 5,738 Scottish militiamen. So we can look at the data in our chart, and our first task, we were asked to make a histogram of this distribution. From looking at this distribution, we can describe the shape, center, and spread of the chest measurements. The shape is roughly symmetric because the majority of the data is located towards the center. The center is about 40, and because it is roughly symmetric, we can find the center by using the mean. The spread is from 33 to 48 inches. And we were asked how this information could be useful. And it could be useful for trying to figure out what, when you're purchasing uniforms or armor, things for the militiamen to wear, it's nice to know how big you may need to make these uniforms. And now for our AP question, we were given 3 box plots. And these box plots represented the measurement of the concentration of a common pesticide, which is called aldrin, in 3 river sites. So our first task was to compare the distributions of the concentration of aldrin among the 3 rivers. So a few things that I noticed was that River X was skewed to the right, River Y was almost normal, and River Z is skewed to the left. One thing they did have in common was that the spread of the 3 rivers have a similar minimum concentration, which was around 3, but the maximums all differed. And we want to take note that when you're using a box plot, you have to look at the median, and you can't figure out data through the mean. Our next task was to construct a stem plot that displays the concentration of aldrin from River X from 20 concentrations of aldrin that we were given. So I put together a stem plot, and in this you are able to see the overall shape of the data a lot better. For example, there is a dip at about 6, whereas in the box plot you can't necessarily notice that there might be a dip. But then it starts to increase again as it goes towards 9. And like I said, this is all easily recognizable through the stem plot, whereas it's less recognizable through the box plot. So now that we've taken a look at 3 different examples, hopefully you are able to understand a little more about analyzing data and graphs.